Learn how to stand on your own. We often take it for granted that we live our lives with others, among friends, family, and coworkers. We find comfort and share both joy and sorrow. But the true depth of life often comes from quiet moments spent alone. Learn how to be alone. This doesn't mean cutting people off. It means taking the time to understand yourself, to look within, and to find growth in solitude. 1. The value of being alone. Being alone isn't painful, it's when real growth begins. We live in a world that constantly encourages connection. Social media keeps us linked every second. At work, in school, even at home. We're surrounded by people. Even eating or traveling alone can seem strange to others. But in all that noise, we often forget something important. That time alone is when we grow the most and truly heal. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. It's a time to reset, to reflect, and to return to yourself. Around others, we play roles: the good friend, the loyal coworker, the respectful child. Over time, we lose sight of what we truly want and who we really are. Alone time is like a mirror. It lets us hear the voice within. At first, it feels uncomfortable. We reach for our phones, turn on music, or search for someone to talk to. But if we stay in the silence, we slowly adjust. Then, a quiet voice starts to speak. Why am I so anxious? Why do I get angry so often? Is this the life I truly want? These questions only surface when we are truly alone. With others, we avoid, we pretend, we hide. But when we're alone, we face everything. And that's where real growth begins. 2. Meeting yourself. Real growth begins when you face yourself. The longer you're alone, the more unfamiliar emotions rise. Loneliness, anxiety, emptiness. They feel uncomfortable. We want to avoid them. But they are parts of ourselves we've ignored for a long time. Many people can't stand silence. Not because it's boring, but because it brings feelings they don't want to face. So they stay busy, playing music, scrolling through phones, watching videos, talking nonstop, all to avoid being alone with themselves. But as long as we run from those emotions, we can never truly know who we are. Growth, healing, and real change begin the moment we stop avoiding. Meeting yourself means having the most honest conversation you'll ever have with yourself. Why am I so angry all the time? Why do I feel anxious without praise? Am I truly happy? Is this the life I chose? Who am I becoming? At first, these questions are scary. But the more we ask, the more we start to understand. True self-worth doesn't come from others' approval. It begins when you understand yourself. Accept what you see, and stop pretending. That quiet time alone, that's where real self-respect is born. And then it happens. You realize the parts you hated, the feelings you hid in shame. They are you too. When you stop rejecting yourself, you stop copying others, you stop chasing approval, and you finally begin to live as your true self. 3. Freedom and responsibility. True freedom begins when you stop avoiding responsibility. Being alone doesn't just mean being free. It means you now carry the weight of that freedom. No one else decides for you. And no one else takes the fall. When you're alone, there's no one to blame. No one to lean on. Only you, your choices, your consequences. We all say we want freedom. Freedom from rules. Freedom from pressure. Freedom to live on our own terms. But real freedom doesn't come without cost. You get to choose, but you also have to live with what you choose. In silence, you start to see it clearly. Freedom isn't just about doing what you want. It's about owning every step you take. There was a time when others set your schedule, told you what to do, limited your choices. It felt restrictive, but it was simple. Now the decisions are yours. And that means asking yourself, is this the right path? Is this what I really want? Am I living the life I chose? True freedom means building your own standards. It means admitting when you're wrong, and not needing applause when you're right. It means working hard even when no one sees, pushing forward without approval, living by your own rules, and holding yourself to them. Freedom isn't the absence of limits. It's the strength to carry your choices. It's the courage to stand on your own, when nothing is certain, and no one is watching. That kind of freedom, the real kind, only comes when you're strong enough to take full responsibility for your life. And when that happens, you stop being a child. You stop waiting for permission. You become the one steering the wheel. Not just free, but finally in control. 4. Independent self. The one who's full alone is truly free. We often believe that happiness comes from others. Friends, family, a partner. We think we need someone by our side to feel complete. But the truth is, real happiness starts from within. When you learn to be alone, you stop depending on outside validation. You discover how to find peace and contentment from inside yourself. The joy you feel when you're with someone, it doesn't actually come from them. It comes from your belief that you're okay on your own, and you choose to share that peace. That belief, that confidence, is only built in solitude. Someone who doesn't feel lonely when alone. Someone who doesn't feel bored with themselves. Someone who stays steady, even without company. That's someone with a truly independent self. They don't chase approval. They don't lose themselves in relationships. They fill their own cup first, and live with clarity and direction. This kind of independence isn't cold or distant. It's strong, quiet, and deeply grounded. Being alone isn't just practice for independence. It's training for self-love. It's how you build the strength to stop following your fears. People who fear being alone often end up clinging to others. But those who embrace solitude stay centered even in love, even in connection. They don't get lost in emotions. They don't change themselves to keep someone. This isn't just maturity. It's the result of spending time alone and growing into your own identity. You can love someone. You can share your life. But it should never be because you feel incomplete. It should be because you're already whole, and now you're ready to share. That's real independence. That's real happiness. That's real love.